Hi, this is Dan Whitney with the Whitney Law Firm in Towson, Maryland. Today we're going to talk about the interesting topic of when a new car is not really a new car. So I've been a lawyer for about 10 years. I've handled many car dealership cases, many problems involving car dealerships across Maryland, and some of these arise out of the issue of somebody buys a car that is advertised as new, and somehow they find out that it's actually not a new car. So how does this happen? First of all, the dealer lies, which that happens all the time. But practically speaking, what happens is usually it's one of two things. One, a vehicle will get delivered, meaning a consumer takes possession of it, drives it off the lot as if it was their own. The vehicle gets delivered to somebody else. That person uses the car for an extended period of time. And then usually something happens like financing is not approved. They have to bring that car back. Now, in Maryland, there are disclosure requirements where if a car is delivered to somebody else, and there's some other factors, but generally speaking, that must be disclosed to a new buyer because, of course, that buyer is going to want to know, they're going to find it important to know before they buy a car, has this been delivered to somebody else? Has somebody else used this like it's their own car? Because if so, I may not want that. I may want a real new car that's actually new in every sense of the word. And I just don't want anybody else to have possessed it and used it how they may have used it. I want a new car. So the first one is it gets delivered to somebody else. Somehow the deal falls apart. It comes back and that's not disclosed. We had a case where that scenario came to light after our client bought a car that had about 600 miles on it. And she went to activate the Sirius radio. And when she got home and she tried to activate it, she was told, this has already been activated. She said, well, that doesn't make any sense. This is a new car. It has 600 miles. I was told that the manager's wife drove it. And why would somebody activate the Sirius radio? And she had the foresight to say, well, what was the person's name who activated the subscription? And fortunately, it was a pretty unique name, not John Smith, but whatever it was unique. I don't remember it exactly. And she contacted our office, provided the name of that person. I reached out to that person and I said, hey, I'm Dan Whitney. I represent this Miss So-and-so in connection with this car. Here's what happened. Can you tell me why did you activate the Sirius radio? And he said, oh, I took delivery of the car and it was mine. I bought it. And then I got a call from the dealership about a week later saying, if you want to keep it, you have to put down more money. And the gentleman said, I didn't want to do that. So I just took the car back to the dealership and gave it back to him and said, you keep it. So that's a perfect example of when a dealer should have disclosed this has been delivered to somebody else. But of course they didn't because they wanted to make more money. And their fear was if we tell somebody this, they're going to say, you know, I want $1,000 or $2,000 off the sticker price because now it's a used car. So of course they just stayed quiet, let their greed control them, and decided to try and cheat somebody. And in that case, it didn't work out for them. Now, the other scenario when a car that is advertised as new may not actually be new is when it is damaged before it is sold to the new buyer. So you might say, well, how on earth does a new car get damaged? Well, it happens all the time. It could be damaged on a test drive. It could be damaged where a lot attendant backs into something or hits something. It could be damaged being transported from a factory. It could be damaged during a DX, which is a dealer exchange, when, let's say, a customer wants a certain car, but it's at another certain dealership and the dealerships work out a trade agreement, and a lot attendant usually will drive the car, or the salesperson will drive the car back to the dealer and switch the other one out and get it there. But the point is there's many opportunities for a new car to sustain damage before somebody buys it. In a recent case, a man went to go buy a new vehicle, and after taking possession of it, he happened to look in the glove box a few days later, and he discovered repair orders for work that had been performed at the dealership to the tune of about $2,000. So he went back and he said, you know, what is this? Did you guys do the work? And the dealer said, yeah, we did it. And he said, well, I want a new car, not a damaged car. And they said, take a hike. So he called us and we filed the lawsuit, and the case is actually ongoing. But what's interesting is in Maryland, at least, there's a damage threshold. And if the repair bill for the damage to a new car, which is defined as a car that has not yet been titled, if the damage repair costs are more than 3% of the MSRP, there is a written disclosure that dealers are required to provide to the customer for the exact reason that the customer, at least in Maryland, is entitled to know this car, although it has not yet been titled, has been damaged. And of course, some people might say, I don't care, give me some money off. And others might say, no, a new car means a new car to me. I want something that's not messed up at all. I don't want to have to worry about were repairs done right. I don't want it. But the point is that puts the customer on notice that the new car was damaged, and then they can decide, do I want to go down this road or do I want a real new car? Of course, in the ongoing litigation, the dealer disclosed nothing and behaved terribly, to the surprise of no one. But I think a lawsuit will help that one shake out the right way, get the gentleman a real new car, and of course they will end up paying his attorney's fee, so he pays nothing out of pocket, and I think that's how that's going to go. But in a nutshell, those are the two main ways when a new car is not really a new car. It's been delivered to somebody else and they return it for some reason, or it's been damaged. So I hope this has been helpful. If you are in Maryland and this has unfortunately happened to you, give me a call and hopefully I'll be able to help. Consultations are always free. If you're in any other state, a situation like this is often easily defined under the Consumer Protection Statute that protects consumers from deceptive actions such as this. So I think it should be pretty easy to find an attorney to help. So if you'd like to see any other topics addressed on the YouTube channel, please just leave it in a comment. If this has been helpful, please leave a thumbs up. And thank you for watching. See you next time.